one thing I noted is about the evaluation by itself. We have started with this evaluation on a very positive note and very encouraging notes, and also going into the detail what exactly you have spoke about, and just observing even how you talked about in the past and what you learned from that, and you're doing that again, and how you're coming back from what you learned, and how we relate in speech to a dance. And one of those important thing of communication is silence, and it's not always about talking, giving enough silence to your speech so that it allows the people, the audience, to immerse what you're saying, and you gave ample amount of pace and vocal variety in your speech. And yeah, it's been a great speech, a great evaluation area. And the next evaluator is Terrill, Bohlar, ATM BCL, for the speaker Russ course.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, and hello to my fellow guests and our new members. And to Russ, 10th speech. And I'll start out with the things that I like about you and your speech. I did like the twist on the inspirational speech. I liked the way that you tackled a tough subject. It's always difficult to tackle a tough subject, so I did like that. And your speeches are always very informative. I really liked that as well. Your voice is very smooth and soothing with this, especially with this subject. That worked out okay. I think that some improvements on this speech, though, is that for the 10th speech, you need to come out a little bit more dynamic. I felt like the opening was just a little bit messy. I think you can use your introduction more effectively, work with the Toastmaster more to make sure that they deliver your introduction, and then you introduce the speech. I thought was a little messy at the beginning. I think that could be improved. I think that also the arrangement, if like Eric points out that he thinks of it as an airplane, I think of it as a musical score. I think that your personal example was a very nice personal example, is very effective. However, I felt like maybe it should have been moved up into the speech. We should have introduced that sooner and then built off of that our action plan. I would have been much more compelled to do what you were asking me to do. So I think that the element was there. I just think the arrangement needed to be worked on a little bit. Just some minor things also for improvement. I think that also working the room a little bit better. You got to this spot and you stayed in this spot. Okay, but you didn't have effective eye movement. You were using gestures. But I think it would have felt a little bit smoother if you could have moved around the room and talked to the room just a little bit more effectively. That's going to improve your speeches as well. I loved the intellect and the logic that you used with your speech, and I've already mentioned how I like your voice, and I just look forward to seeing more of your speeches. Mr. Toastmaster. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Terrill. Thank you, Russ. So again, a great speech from Russ and great evaluation from Terrill. It was very detailed evaluation, and he gave specific detailed information what the strength of the speech was, and also where we could improve upon. In preparing for this role, I was trying to understand what the difference between an evaluation and a review specifically. So in this evaluation, you specifically look into content and the organization and the delivery of the speech. And the review specifically is looking at specifically on the subject matter, the depth of it, analyzing and dissecting what you talked about on the subject. So we in Toastmasters do more on the evaluation side. If you observe, we talk more on what specifically the content flow through and delivery of it and organization of it. People sometimes make mistake about review and evaluation. So something all of you can take note of. So again, as I said, great evaluation by Terrill, and with giving very specific suggestions and improvements. Thank you again, Russ and Terrill. Moving on to the timer, Calvin Knowledge, if you could read out the timer.